The 2026 Kawasaki W230 has finally arrived, and it's already generating excitement among motorcycle enthusiasts across the globe. Kawasaki has a long legacy of blending timeless retro styling with modern-day engineering, and the new W230 continues that tradition in a more compact and accessible package. The W series has always stood out for offering riders a taste of classic motorcycling, and with this model, Kawasaki is looking to strike a balance between heritage, everyday usability, and affordability. So in today's review, we're going to dive deep into the 2026 Kawasaki W230, exploring its design, performance, features, comfort, and of course its price point, to see whether this is the next great everyday retro bike that deserves a spot in your garage. When you first look at the W230, the design immediately tells you it's a member of the W family, inspired by the bigger W800 and the legendary Kawasaki W1 from the 1960s. The styling cues on this smaller capacity model are unmistakable. The round headlamp at the front, chrome touches around the engine, and teardrop-shaped fuel tank all scream retro charm. The seat has a flat, long profile that complements the classic lines, making it look like a machine that has rolled straight out of a vintage postcard, but with just enough modern detailing to let you know it's a current generation motorcycle. The spoke wheels add further authenticity, while the twin-shock rear suspension and tubular steel frame give it a proper old-school vibe. However, Kawasaki has cleverly ensured the finish, paint quality, and fit of the components feel up to date, something that riders today expect from a brand like Kawasaki. At the heart of the W230 is a brand new air-cooled single-cylinder engine displacing 233cc. This motor is tuned to deliver smooth and predictable performance, which aligns with the bike's retro philosophy. Don't expect lightning-fast acceleration or aggressive top-end power. This bike is all about a relaxed, torquey delivery. Riders will find around 19 to 20 horsepower on tap, with peak torque coming in at relatively low revs. This makes the W230 incredibly beginner-friendly while also enjoyable for seasoned riders who simply want a laid-back machine for cruising around town or taking short scenic rides. The engine is fuel-injected, which ensures cleaner emissions and crisp throttle response, and Kawasaki has paired it with a 5-speed gearbox that shifts smoothly. The performance feels adequate for city rides and light highway stints, and while it's not going to set any speed records, it's certainly quick enough to keep up with everyday traffic and offer a calm, enjoyable ride. One of the highlights of the W230 is the way it feels while riding. Kawasaki has worked hard to make sure the ergonomics are spot on for a wide range of riders. The upright riding position, slightly pulled back handlebars, and low seat height of around 780 mm mean that this bike is approachable even for shorter riders. At the same time, taller riders won't feel cramped thanks to the well-proportioned footpeg placement. The seat itself is well padded, offering a balance of comfort and firmness, which is great for daily commutes or weekend rides. The suspension setup, with telescopic forks at the front and dual shocks at the rear, has been tuned for comfort rather than sporty handling. It soaks up potholes, speed bumps, and uneven road surfaces with ease, making it ideal for urban environments where road conditions may not always be perfect. On the handling side, the W230 is nimble and easy to maneuver, thanks to its relatively light weight, which hovers around 135 kilograms. The bike feels effortless to flick around city corners or weave through traffic. The chassis is stable and confidence-inspiring at moderate speeds, and while it's not a sport bike by any means, the W230 holds its line well and bends. Braking duties are handled by a front disc brake and a rear drum or disc option, depending on the variant and market, paired with single-channel ABS for added safety. This setup gives riders confidence when slowing down, though again, the emphasis is on safe, predictable stopping power rather than aggressive braking performance. In terms of features, Kawasaki has kept things simple to stay true to the retro character but has added just enough modern touches to make it practical. The instrument cluster is a combination of an analog speedometer and a small digital display that shows essential information like fuel level, trip meters, and odometer readings. This mix of analog and digital is perfect for a bike that's trying to bridge the gap between classic design and modern usability. Lighting is handled by a traditional-looking round headlamp, which in some markets is LED equipped, while others may continue with halogen for that authentic vintage glow. Indicators and tail lamps are compact yet styled to match the bike's retro theme. Another factor worth mentioning is the W230's efficiency. Thanks to the small capacity engine and fuel-injected setup, riders can expect an impressive mileage figure, often hovering around 35 to 40 kilometers per liter depending on riding style and conditions. This makes it not only a stylish ride but also an economical one, something that adds to its appeal as a daily-use motorcycle. The fuel tank capacity is approximately 12 liters, which when combined with the excellent mileage, ensures a decent riding range without constant refueling stops. Now, let's talk about the unique selling points of the W230. First and foremost, it's the accessibility. This bike is designed to welcome a wide range of riders, from beginners to those who want a second motorcycle that's easy to live with. Its low weight, friendly power delivery, and approachable ergonomics make it less intimidating than larger capacity retro bikes. Secondly, it offers the iconic Kawasaki W styling at a much more affordable price point. For riders who have always admired the W800 but found it too large, too expensive, or impractical for daily use, the W230 provides that same timeless look in a smaller, easier-to-manage package. Third, the W230 manages to balance old and new seamlessly. It feels like a proper retro motorcycle, not just in terms of looks but also in the way it rides and delivers power. Yet, it doesn't compromise on reliability, safety, or efficiency thanks to the incorporation of modern engineering. The 2026 Kawasaki W230 is also a great option for customization. Its simple frame, exposed engine, and classic lines give riders the freedom to modify and personalize the bike. Whether it's adding leather saddlebags, swapping out the exhaust for something throatier, or simply changing the paint scheme, this motorcycle is a blank canvas for creativity. Much like classic bikes of the past, this ability to be customized easily adds another layer of appeal, especially for younger riders or enthusiasts who enjoy making their motorcycle truly their own. As for the price, Kawasaki has positioned the W230 competitively to make it accessible. Depending on the market, the expected price tag falls somewhere between $3,500 to $4,000, which translates to around 2.8 to 3.2 lakh INR in India. This pricing places it squarely in competition with bikes like the Honda CB350, Royal Enfield Classic 350, and Yamaha's retro-styled offerings. While those bikes may have slightly larger engines or different brand heritages, the Kawasaki stands out by being lighter, easier to handle, and perhaps more beginner-friendly, which could sway a lot of potential buyers in its direction. When we step back and look at the complete picture, the 2026 Kawasaki W230 is not about speed or raw performance. It's about capturing the essence of motorcycling in its simplest and most enjoyable form. It brings together Kawasaki's heritage styling, modern reliability, and a focus on accessibility. Whether you're a new rider looking for your fierce retro bike, a city commuter who wants something stylish and economical, or even an experienced rider searching for a second motorcycle that's light, easy, and fun, the W230 makes a strong case for itself. To sum it all up, the Kawasaki W230 is a reminder that motorcycling isn't always about chasing top speeds or packing in endless tech. Sometimes, it's about the joy of a simple ride, the feeling of freedom on two wheels, and the satisfaction of owning a machine that looks timeless but runs with modern reliability. With its retro styling, approachable performance, and competitive pricing, the 2026 W230 might just become one of Kawasaki's most successful entry-level retro bikes. It's stylish, practical, affordable, and fun, exactly what a modern retro should be.